Ramp theories. There are four types of ramp theory. First is straight ramp theory. The straight ramp theory suggests that a long straight ramp was constructed to haul the stone blocks up to the construction site. This ramp would have extended from the base of the pyramid to the top, allowing workers to drag the stones up the incline. The primary challenge with this theory is the sheer length and volume of material required to build such a ramp, especially as the pyramid grew taller. The ramp would need to be extended and heightened continuously, making it a massive engineering project in itself. Zigzagging ramp theory. The zigzagging ramp theory proposes that a series of zigzagging ramps were used to move the stones. These ramps would have zigzagged up the sides of the pyramid, reducing the steepness of the incline and making it easier to haul the heavy blocks. This method would have required less material than a straight ramp and could have been more manageable in terms of construction and maintenance. However, it would still have been a complex and labor-intensive process. Spiral ramp theory. The spiral ramp theory suggests that a spiral ramp was built around the pyramid, allowing workers to drag the stones up in a circular path. This theory posits that the ramp spiraled around the exterior of the pyramid, providing a continuous path to the top. The advantage of this method is that it would have required less material than a straight ramp and could have been more stable. However, it would have posed challenges in terms of turning the heavy blocks at the corners and maintaining the ramp's structural integrity as the pyramid rose. Internal ramp theory. The internal ramp theory, proposed by architect Jean-Pierre Houdin, posits that internal ramps were used within the pyramid structure to move the stones upward. According to this theory, a series of internal ramps were constructed inside the pyramid, spiraling up through the structure. This method would have allowed workers to transport the stones without the need for massive external ramps. The internal ramps could have been dismantled or incorporated into the pyramid as construction progressed. This theory is supported by some evidence of voids and anomalies within the pyramid that could correspond to such ramps. Lever and pulley theories. The lever systems theory proposes that levers were used to lift the stones into place. This method leverages the mechanical advantage provided by levers to reduce the amount of force needed to lift heavy blocks. Several variations of this theory exist, each suggesting different ways levers could have been employed. Incremental lifting. This method involves lifting the block incrementally by prying up alternating sides of the block and inserting wooden or stone shims to gradually move the stone up one course. This technique was experimentally tested by researchers like Eisler, who was able to lift a block up one tier in approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes using wooden shims or cribbing. Herodotus machine. According to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, a series of machines made of short wooden planks were used to lift the stones from one level to the next. This machine worked by placing a block upon a central pivot point and using ropes or levers to rock the block back and forth, allowing a slab of wood to be inserted underneath. This process would be repeated to lift the block incrementally between levels of the pyramid. Counterweight system. The counterweight system theory suggests that counterweights were used in combination with levers and pulleys to lift the stones. This method involves using heavy counterweights to balance and lift the stone blocks, reducing the amount of manual labor required. Key elements of this theory include counterweight mechanism. Large, standard-sized blocks were used as counterweights to hoist the heavier granite beams. For example, to counterbalance a granite block of 50 tons, 8 limestone blocks of 5.6 tons each were used as counterweights. These counterweights were hauled up in the usual way and then used to lift the granite beams to the required height rope and pulley configuration. The counterweight system often involved a complex rope and pulley configuration. The weight of the counterweights would be divided by the pulley system, reducing the force needed to lift the stones. For instance, a double pulley system could divide the weight by 4, making it easier for workers to reset the counterweight. The limestone concrete theory, also known as the geopolymer theory, suggests that the blocks used to build the pyramids were not quarried and transported, but were instead made from a mixture of disaggregated limestone and a geopolymeric binder, which was poured into molds. This theory was first proposed by French chemist Joseph Davidovits in the late 1970s and has since gained some support from various researchers and materials scientists. Key elements of the limestone concrete theory include geopolymeric binder. The theory posits that the ancient Egyptians used a geopolymeric binder, which is a type of cement made from aluminosilicate materials such as kaolinite clay, lime, and natron, sodium carbonate. This binder would react chemically to form a hard, stone-like material. Casting in molds. According to this theory, the limestone blocks were cast in place using wooden molds. The mixture of disaggregated limestone and geopolymeric binder was poured into these molds, where it would set and harden into blocks. This method would have allowed for the precise shaping and fitting of the blocks, accounting for the tight seams observed in the pyramid construction. Chemical and physical evidence. Proponents of the theory point to differences in the chemical composition and physical structure of the pyramid stones compared to natural limestone. Studies have found that some pyramid stones contain microstructural features and chemical signatures that are consistent with a cast material rather than quarried stone. Alien intervention theory. The alien intervention theory proposes that advanced beings from outer space assisted in the construction of the pyramids. This theory is popularized by proponents of the ancient astronaut hypothesis, who argue that the precision and scale of the pyramid's construction could not have been achieved by the ancient Egyptians alone, given their known technological capabilities. Astronomical alignments. Proponents point to the precise alignment of the pyramids with celestial bodies, such as the stars in Orion's belt, as evidence of extraterrestrial involvement. They argue that such precise astronomical knowledge and alignment would have required advanced technology or guidance from beings with superior knowledge. Mathematical sophistication. The theory highlights the advanced mathematical knowledge encoded in the pyramid's design, such as their alignment with true north and the use of the golden ratio. Proponents claim that this level of sophistication suggests the influence of extraterrestrial intelligence. Advanced surveying and alignment. The precise alignment of the pyramids to the cardinal points and the accuracy of their construction suggest the use of advanced surveying techniques. Proponents of this theory argue that the Egyptians may have had access to sophisticated tools for measuring and aligning structures. Skilled laborers, recent evidence. Recent archaeological evidence strongly suggests that the pyramids were built by tens of thousands of skilled workers who were paid for their labor rather than by slaves. This conclusion is supported by multiple findings and analyses from various archaeological sites and historical records. Worker villages and living conditions. Archaeologists have discovered purpose-built villages near the pyramids, such as the one on the Giza Plateau, which housed the workers. These villages included long dormitory-style buildings, communal dining areas, and evidence of well-organized living conditions. The workers were well fed, as indicated by the large quantities of animal bones, cattle, sheep, and goats, found at the site, suggesting they received high-quality food burial practices. The tombs of the workers were found close to the pyramids, indicating a place of honor. These tombs contained supplies for the afterlife, such as jars of beer and bread, which would not have been afforded to slaves. Graffiti and records. Graffiti found inside the pyramids, left by the workers themselves, included names of work crews and humorous or prideful inscriptions, such as the Friends of Khufu Gang and the Drunkards of Menkaure.